Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. Elon Musk is now the largest shareholder of Twitter. The Virginia General Assembly bans the sale of cats and dogs for experiments. Hopewell closes in on its new ward map. Petersburg hosts its 7th annual Sports Hall of Fame inductions, and Kansas defeats North Carolina in the NCAA championship. More after this.
It's time to catch a culinary wave. Fresh food, good vibes, and great service. From their homemade pickles, spreads, and hearty fresh-made sandwiches, to their full bar featuring unique tropical cocktails. Wave Sandwich Company delivers a tsunami of flavors that will wash over your taste buds.
Downtown Thunder is back, the largest bike and cruising event in the region. The hottest bands, the coolest cars, and of course, the baddest bikes around. The most exciting 5 months of the year, May through September. Don't miss out. This year's lineup features The Code, Buckshot, Crunch, Lost in the Shuffle, and 11 to 1. So catch a ride and join us for Thunder.
Welcome back to the studio. Let's take a look at national news. Both the Washington Post and New York Times have recently published articles verifying and acknowledging the authenticity of the Hunter Biden laptop, nearly 2 years after initial reports on the laptop by the New York Post. The New York Post reporting was immediately suppressed and ultimately banned by social media giants Facebook and Twitter. Both companies claimed their fact-finders found the reports false. Ultimately, they restricted the public from access to information pertinent to then-candidate Joe Biden, as well as credible and accurate reporting. According to the Epoch Times, despite a requirement by Princess Cruise Lines for passengers and crew to be fully vaccinated, one of its liners, the Ruby Princess, reported a COVID-19 outbreak on March 28th. In addition to the required vaccine status, the company also requires passengers to show a negative COVID-19 test alongside their vaccine cards. No information was provided as to the number affected or time of the outbreak during the cruise. According to OSINT news outlet, gunfire in Sacramento, California erupted during a fight in the street involving several people. In the video posted on Twitter, you can see the clash between multiple people followed by several gunshots. Later, the Sacramento Police Department reported that officers located at least 15 shooting victims, including 6 who are now deceased. The incident occurred at approximately 2 a.m. on April 3rd. To date, 3 arrests have been made in the shooting. As of May 23rd of this year, the Biden administration will terminate the Title 42 public health policy. That policy was a fast track for expelling illegal immigrants at the southern border based on their COVID-19 positivity. In February, Title 42 turned away approximately 55% of illegal immigrants. Critics expressed continued concern that this, coupled with failing immigration policies by the president, will collapse an already overwhelmed border security force. Elon Musk has become the largest shareholder of Twitter. According to a report by the Daily Wire, the SpaceX and Tesla founder has purchased a total of 9.2% of the tech giant, significantly more than the 2.25% owned by the company's founder, Jack Dorsey. The purchase comes after Musk tweeted out a poll in March asking the public if they think Twitter adheres to the principles of free speech. Over 70% of the over 2 million respondents said no. State and local news after this.
This is my second time going to Escape Old Town. I had a great time in the escape room. Lots of fun. Puzzles a little challenging, but it makes you really work for it. You feel a lot more accomplished when it's done.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Keep your home comfortable and quiet with the new energy-efficient Daikin Fit system. Right now at Colonial Plumbing, Heating and Air, we're offering a $1,000 rebate on any new Daikin Fit HVAC system. Colonial Plumbing, Heating and Air, service that's revolutionary.
Now let's turn to this week's state and local headlines. The Virginia General Assembly passed a new law banning the Carolina squat modification to vehicles in the Commonwealth. Often seen on pickup trucks, the modification involves lifting the front of the vehicle and lowering the back, creating a backwards lean that often places the hood of the vehicle in the way of the driver's view of the road. The legislation, which requires a vehicle's front bumper to be no more than 4 inches higher than its back bumper, was brought forward after a Mecklenburg man was killed in an accident involving a Carolina squatted vehicle. Governor Youngkin signed the bill into law on Monday, March 21st, and it went into effect immediately. On Monday, April 4th, Governor Youngkin signed into law legislation from the General Assembly that bans the sale of dogs and cats for the purpose of experimental testing. The legislation is made up of multiple House and Senate bills carried by various Virginia legislators that together have been dubbed the Beagle Bills. This action amends the existing comprehensive animal care law of the Virginia Code, expanding current wording to further protect the Commonwealth's canines and felines, or, in the words of Governor Youngkin, our four-legged constituents. Local school boards in Virginia will soon be required to submit or verify accurate and up-to-date floor plans for school buildings as part of their security audits. House Bill 741, signed by Governor Youngkin on Monday, April 4th, is intended to improve school security by providing detailed layouts of each locality's school buildings. The floor plans will be kept as part of the school system's security audit documentation, but they will not be made available to the public for safety reasons. The State Corporation Commission will work with the Departments of Energy and Environmental Quality in 2022 to create a task force that will analyze the life cycle of Virginia's renewable energy facilities. The task force will be looking at the impacts of solar and wind facilities, as well as renewable energy battery storage facilities, on the environment around them, how to manage the recycling or discarding of such facilities when they are shut down, and the potential economic impacts of renewable energy on the Commonwealth. The legislation mandating this evaluation, House Bill 774 and Senate Bill 499, require that this task force submit their findings in a report to the governor, the chair of the House Committee on Agriculture, Chesapeake, and Natural Resources, and the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Natural Resources, no later than May 1st of 2023. More local news in a moment.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, hemp-based products, vapor nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elba.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elba.
We're chiropractors, and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us, Chester Family Chiropractic Center.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, March 29th, Hopewell City Council held a work session to review and discuss the potential new ward maps for the city. Each of the seven councilors were asked to provide a list of their top 3 preferred ward maps. After each councilor announced their top 3, Ward Map 6 was the most preferred option. The council and city staff will move forward with the approval process for Map 6, which includes a public hearing for residents to provide feedback on the selected map, as well as a final vote of approval. Localities are required by Virginia Code to redistrict or redraw political boundaries, each year ending in 1, just after the census is completed each decade. The process was delayed in 2021 for many localities as the COVID-19 pandemic slowed the 2020 national census. The 2022 Petersburg Athletic Hall of Fame 7th annual induction ceremony will be held on Saturday, April 23rd at Tabernacle Baptist Church. The banquet will begin at 3 p.m. when 7 noteworthy Petersburg athletes will be inducted. This year's inductees include 2 football players, Cornell Barlow and Kenneth Lamont Hunley, basketball player Wayne Gee, track and fields Michael Hill Johnson, and wrestler Kevin D. Turner, and 2 coaches, golf coach Robert Budlove and girls basketball coach Benjamin Dyer. Tabernacle Baptist Church is located at 418 Halifax Street in Petersburg. For tickets, contact Petersburg High School at 804-861-4884. Prince George County Public Schools will host a registration night for the parents of rising pre-K and kindergarten students. The event will take place Thursday, April 14th at Prince George High School. When you and your child attend registration night, be sure to bring along the necessary documentation for school registration. That includes your child's birth certificate, proof of residency, a completed physical, and immunization records. There will also be staff available to guide parents to resources to prepare their children for starting school. Anyone unable to attend registration night can find the required documentation in the registration portal on the Prince George Schools website and make a registration appointment at their child's elementary school. Run Petersburg is hosting the 6th annual Petersburg Half Marathon and 5K on Saturday, April 9th. The course will take runners through some of Petersburg's most historic areas, including Old Town, Pocahontas Island, Blandford Cemetery, and the Petersburg National Battlefield. Participants can even witness a battle reenactment taking place as they run through the battlefield park. Individual registration for the half marathon is $80 and for the 5K $35. A kids' fun run is also scheduled for ages 3 to 15 with registration at $10. The half marathon begins at 7 a.m., the 5K at 7:30 a.m., and the fun run at 10:30 a.m. Runners will start and end the race at Union Train Station in Old Town. Local farmers are gearing up for market season as we move further into spring. LNN's Chai Gallahan recently stopped in at an area farmers market for an update on this year's growing season. We go to him on the boulevard in Colonial Heights.
This is Chai. We're here at the Colonial Heights Farmers Market with LNNusa.com, and this is Mel Mason. Hi, Mel.
Hey, Chai, how are you?
Great. What's going on here today at the Farmers Market?
Hey, so we're having a great day at the Farmers Market today. It was a little windy this morning when we started, a little cold, but we're turning out to be a fantastic day. So we are here every Saturday from 9 until 12, and here at my booth, I am actually an organic grower of vegetables, and today, during the colder months, we normally have jams and jellies, and again, everything is organically grown. Later into the summer, we'll have lots of vegetables from my garden.
Along with canned organic jellies and vegetables, you can find farm fresh eggs amongst a plethora of other offerings. And we're here with Karen Taylor. She's here with fresh farm eggs from Lee Family Farms. And Karen, what's going on here? What are you bringing to the farmers market in Colonial Heights?
Yeah, we bring non-GMO, all organic fed chicken eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where's your farm located?
In just Botana, Prince George. We've definitely found, you can definitely see a difference in the yolks and things like that than what you buy in the store if you compare them.
Oh, really?
There's definitely much more health benefit.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
This has been Chai Gallahan with LNNusa.com.
We'll be back with your sports updates in a moment.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Experience the thrill that hunt as your Petersburg Cavaliers make a run for the 2022 ECBL Championship. Rimrock and Throwdown, Tenacious D, the booze, the show, the food. It's not just a game, it's an event. Check out PetersburgCavaliers.com for ticket info and game times. And catch the Cavs postgame show on LNNusa.com.
BSV keeps it 100. 100% committed to you. You have questions, we have answers. Just give us a call. BSV. We're 100% for you, 100% of the time. Call or visit bsvnet.com today.
And now for the latest in sports. LNN's Chai Gallahan has the Cavs update.
A pair of gunslingers rolled into the Berg looking to pick off the undefeated Petersburg Cavaliers. Hickory Hoyas, Justin Glover, and Quay Hopewell were firing away from behind the arc with deadly accuracy. Glover dropped 6 threes, 4 leading off the second half. Hopewell added another 5 threes, 4 also in the second half. As threes were raining down on the Cavs, the boys from the Berg unleashed their own offensive firepower, taking over the paint. Aggressive inside play coupled with a tenacious defense proved deadly in offsetting the Hoyas' hot hands. 6 Cavaliers finished the game in double digits, creating a balanced and ultimately unstoppable offensive machine. Tavon Mealy went into beast mode in the second half, dropping 14 points from the paint and a perfect 5 for 5 from the line in the final 2 quarters. Bernard Alston clutched the final 3 foul shots at a crucial time in the fourth to protect the lead. He went 7 for 8 from the line for the game. All knotted up at 92. At the end of the third, the Cavs outscored the Hoyas 31-25, finishing the game 123-117. The Cavs continue to dominate midway through the season and are about to embark upon a roadway-heavy second half of the season. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Chai, I know it's only midway through the season, but how could the Petersburg Cavs' success impact the playoff pictures?
For now, the Cavs are looking to remain undefeated, focusing one game at a time, but the possibility of locking down home court advantage for the playoffs is certainly on their mind. With the great start and lead they have in the conference and especially in their division, it looks good for some ECBL playoff action in the Berg this year. A lot of ball remains to be played in the season, but for now, the Cavs are the team to beat in the Mid-South Conference of the ECBL.
Thanks, Chai. On Monday, March 28th, the NFL announced new steps it plans to take to address concerns about diversity in the league. The first step is the creation of a diversity advisory committee that will be tasked with assessing the league's hiring practices and policies in terms of diversity. According to NFL.com, the league is currently home to 5 minority head coaches. The formation of the advisory committee comes in the wake of former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores filing a lawsuit against the NFL and several of its teams. Flores claims that the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos only interviewed him for coaching positions to satisfy an existing NFL rule, the Rooney Rule established in 2003, that requires teams to interview a minimum of 2 minority applicants when filling vacant head coach positions. The league and both individual teams refuted Flores' claims of racism in their hiring processes. In addition to the diversity committee, the NFL also announced a new hiring requirement for its 32-member teams. All teams will be required to bring in an offensive assistant that is either a racial minority or a woman. More changes to both hiring and club ownership efforts can be expected as the new committee works to assess the NFL's policies in 2022. Saturday, April 2nd, saw 2 final matchups before the NCAA championship game. In the first game of the night, number 2 seeded Villanova met number 1 seeded Kansas City on the floor in New Orleans. The Wildcats made a valiant effort, but were ultimately no match for the Jayhawks, and Kansas took the win 81-65, securing their spot in Monday night's championship game. Later Saturday night, the Blue Devils and the Tar Heels faced off, their rivalry and well-matched skills on the boards evidenced by frequent lead changes. Number 8 seeded North Carolina ultimately proved themselves over number 2 seeded Duke, however, winning the game by just 4 points, 81-77. The game was the last for Duke's legendary Coach K, who announced his retirement from the position at the beginning of the season. Final 4 winners North Carolina and Kansas tipped off late on Monday, April 4th, in a championship game that will go down in sports history. Kansas made early moves forward, but were stalled in the first half by the Tar Heels' quick advance into a significant lead. But the Jayhawks fought their way back up and over North Carolina's 16-point lead in the second half, the biggest comeback in a national title game in history. With less than a minute and a half to go, Kansas edged ahead by 1 point thanks to David McCormick, who then secured the final 2 points of the game with just 22 seconds on the clock. In their first NCAA championship since 2008, the Jayhawks took home the title, defeating North Carolina 72-69. Now we go to Chai Gallahan for weather.
Looks like good weather ahead. The weekend starts with a rise in temperatures with daytime highs of 61 and nighttime lows from low to mid-30s. The week starts heating up as we reach the 80s by Tuesday, with lows in the mid-50s to 60s. No rain in the forecast for the coming week.
That's it for this week's newscast. Tune in next Thursday right here on LNNnews04.com. Catch the latest episode of Good Day VA on our website or now on YouTube. Search for LNN USA and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tap the notification bell. Thanks for watching LNN News by the People, for the People. Hi, I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt.
And I'm Chai Gallahan.
Major media companies have editorialized reporting and called it news. The free press was never designed to be journalistic interpretation of the facts. LNN USA is committed to reporting facts about issues important to you, but the free press is anything but free.
LNN USA exists to serve our fellow citizens. As a locally owned and operated digital news network, we forego the expensive printing presses, costly production plants, and corporate overhead. Your membership dollars are primarily used to pay local reporters to cover local news. Reporters dedicated to investigative news and features that matter. To do that, we need your support.
Become a member, and you'll receive the LNN Insider Weekly Email, a 40-page magazine packed full of news and features you won't find anywhere else. Membership also includes full access to LNN News broadcast archives, LNN Insider magazine archives, extended interview clips not aired in the weekly broadcasts, and more.
Your membership supports local independent reporting free from corporate and political pressure and agendas. Become an LNN member today by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page.